If you've ever held a phone case and wished that it felt a lot softer in your hand rather than the hard plastic that most phone cases are made of, you don't have to worry about that anymore because LURIAX actually makes handcrafted phone cases out of Alcantara. Alcantara is almost like micro suede, but it's a little bit more plush. They sent me over a couple of their cases to do a review so you guys can see what they're all about. We're going to see how they fit, how they feel on the phone, and by the end of this video, you'll know whether or not these cases are right for you. And if you guys do want to pick these up, I will be putting product links in the video description. So first we're going to go through the unboxing process because this is a luxury brand and it seems like they put some time and effort into their presentation, and I want to give you the whole experience. So when you purchase one of these cases, you do get the case itself, and it comes with this little thank you card that, interesting enough, smells like it's got some men's perfume or something, cologne, men's cologne on it or something like that. Smells pretty good. Pretty cool. So we've got their classic case and we've also got their sports case. Now, I don't know which one of these cases are which until I actually take them out because it's not labeled on the box. But here is the box. Seems like a pretty nice sturdy box itself. It does have a little leatherette strap on the side here. So you can kind of just pull this out just like this. And then the case seems like it comes in this like a micro suede bag, which is feels pretty good. It's also really well made. It's not flimsy. Wow, that is pretty nice. And then here is the case inside. So this seems to be their classic case. As you can see, it's covered in Alcantara inside and out, and it feels so soft. If you've never felt Alcantara before, if you love soft cases, you're going to absolutely love this case. This is the first time I've actually tested any Alcantara cases on my channel, and I'm pretty impressed so far. It looks really nice, and again, it's super soft. This case also does have MagSafe built in, so if you happen to have some MagSafe accessories, you can also use that with this case. Now the case does feel pretty firm. It's got a nice firm hard backing, and the edges seem like they're underneath is like a hard rubbery type material. We also have some buttons on the side, and we have a raised edge to protect our cameras as well. So first I'm going to put my dummy iPhone 16 Pro Max inside the case just to show you how much of a raised edge you get around the phone without a tempered glass screen protector. So if we look at the side, you can see without a tempered glass screen protector on the phone, this is how much of a raised edge you get. So now I'm going to put my real iPhone 16 Pro Max inside the case, and we'll see how much of a raised edge we get with a tempered glass screen protector on our phone. Fits the phone really well. It goes on pretty firm, so you don't have to worry about the case just falling off. Buttons are nice and clicky. They are a little small. It's a little hard to feel the buttons on the side just because the Alcantara is a little plush and the buttons almost sit flush with the phone itself. It would have been nicer if these buttons were actually a little bit bigger or maybe stuck out from the case a little further, but you can easily access them and press them. Again, if we take a look at the case from inside, you can see that with a tempered glass screen protector on the phone, that we still do have a very slight raised edge around the front of the phone itself. On the side here, again, you can see these separated volume buttons and the action button. It is seamless all the way around the phone. On the bottom here, it does have a big cutout so you can access the charging port and you can see your microphone and speaker. On the other side, we do have a cutout for our camera button and our power button here. On the back, again, it's got the nice Alcantara, and it does have a raised edge around your camera lenses. And as you can see, it is pretty deep. So those camera lenses should be nice and protected. Really nice case. I also do like the gray color. It does come in a couple different colors as well in case you guys don't like gray. So now let's test out our MagSafe. Here I've got a MagSafe power bank. Clips right onto the back. charges your phone immediately. And as far as the hold, it's got an okay hold. It's not the strongest MagSafe hold that I've felt on cases, but it definitely does seem like it holds your phone in place, so you don't have to worry about it just falling off. Not too bad. Now, as far as holding the case in the hand, it does feel nice and soft, but there's also no grip to the case itself. It is a little slick, not slick as far as a plastic, but because it is so soft and smooth, it doesn't really give a lot of grip to it. But I don't think it's just going to slip and slide out of your hand. You can get a pretty good hold on it. Just be aware that it does have like a smooth feel to it. Then as far as the camera button on the side, you can access the camera button fairly easily. It's got like this little cutout. As you can see, it's kind of beveled, so it's a little bit less of a raised edge on the bottom here and more on the top. So you can still get your finger in there pretty easily. Now let's test out our touch gestures. So it does seem like you will have to kind of get your finger in there a little bit more than usual because it's got kind of like that offset piece on the top and the bottom there, but everything does seem to be working. Yeah, it seems to be working just fine. It's a little trouble with the touch there. Let's try that again. Yeah, so you will have to kind of get your finger in there a little bit more than normal, but you can still access these features. It just kind of seems to work a little better when you're sliding your finger versus actually like kind of pressing in on the button. You can see it slides pretty good. Yeah, so I mean, you can still access the buttons. You just might have a little bit more hard of a time than if there wasn't anything there. Yeah, it might take a couple times, but you can still use it. So you can see for the camera cutout where the case is kind of offset, the button seems to be a little bit closer to the top of the case versus the bottom. So it's a little bit harder to kind of slide your finger in there. Maybe it would have been a little better to just make the same shallow cut for the top as well, so you can evenly get your finger in there. You can see kind of more from the side how it's kind of angled, whereas there's more material on the top portion of the case versus the bottom. So again, this is the classic case. Now let's take a look at their sport case. So again, we get the same boxing presentation. Comes in this really nice kind of like a suede little pouch. This case is in black, and again, it's covered inside and out by that same Alcantara. Super soft. Feels really nice in the hand. This also does have MagSafe built in, but as you can see from the side, it's a little bit thinner and there's less of the case, especially where the buttons are. So if you want a little more kind of a minimalist case, you might like the sport case itself. Put our phone inside the case. Fits the phone really well. Again, feels good in the hand. This case is a little bit less slick than the other one just because it's got less material on here, so you're actually touching the phone with your hand versus the softer side. If we take a look at the side here, again, you get the same raised edge as you get on the classic that you get on the sport. We get our large cutout on the side here, so you can actually access the phone's volume and action buttons. On the bottom, same large cutout as on the classic. On the other side, we have a cutout for our power button and the camera cutout right there. And on the back, again, you have that Alcantara. Feels super smooth. I absolutely love that feel. And we have the same raised camera edge to protect our camera lenses. Again, it is pretty deep, which is definitely nice. And for the most part, this case adds about the same amount of bulk as the classic case. So let's try to access these buttons here. You can access these buttons fairly easily. With the large cutout here, you kind of feels like you got to get your finger around the case to actually press in that button. And then you have that kind of large bump on the side here that you kind of have to press over to get to the buttons. Not a huge fan of that. It would have been nice to make this portion maybe a little bit more in, maybe along the same depth as the button, so it wouldn't feel like you're pressing on the case versus the button themselves. But one thing that I will say is you probably won't get much accidental button pushes because the phone's buttons are actually recessed further than the case itself actually sticks out. So again, let's test out our MagSafe on the back. It seems like it has the same hold as the classic, charges your phone. And it's got about the same hold as the classic. Again, I think it has a good enough hold to where you don't have to worry about the phone just falling off or your MagSafe accessory just falling off the case. So again, if we take a closer look at the camera button, you can see that again, it's kind of on an angle. There's more of the case towards the phone versus on the back. It's a little thinner. So when you're pushing your finger in here, you can press the button, but you kind of get stopped by the top of the case. So if we press in that button, you can very easily access your camera. And then let's test out our touch gestures. Again, it's about the same as the classic. It seems to work fairly well when you're swiping and then accessing that menu. It might just be a little bit harder to access that menu versus if there was just a button there, but it seems to be working pretty good on here. Not too bad. So again, another really nice case. Just a couple of the things that I kind of wish were a little different, just like on the classic. I kind of wish that this didn't stick out as far as it does for the buttons, because you can see that the case sticks out further than the buttons. So you're kind of have to press around the case to get to the buttons, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it may not bother you. It's just a small nitpick. But other than that, the case feels really nice in hand, and I absolutely love the Alcantara feel. So you can definitely see that they've put a lot of time and effort into making these cases. Again, these are handcrafted. They're not made by a machine, and you can definitely tell the quality. I mean, if you look at this case here, the Alcantara covers every little bit of the inside of the case and out, minus the camera ring and the buttons. But you can see the craftsmanship. It doesn't look cheap, feels really nice, looks really nice as well, looks really well made, and you don't see any seams whatsoever. So again, very cool case. The very first time that I've ever tested out an Alcantara case. I think they've done a good job making it. There's just a couple things that I kind of wish were a little bit different, but what do you guys think? Do you guys think that I may be nitpicking too much and you absolutely love the way that it looks and you can overlook the few things that I said? Let me know in the comments below. And again, if you guys want to pick either one of these cases up, I will be putting product links in this video's description. And if you guys enjoyed the video, it would really help out the channel if you gave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.